Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffrey Combs.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jeffrey Combs. Good to be here with you on 2 for Tuesday. It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Good to be here with you. And I have a really good Facebook Live GMS podcast for you here today called Black Sheep Syndrome. So if you're coming on here this afternoon, thank you very much for being here on a cold, wet, rainy afternoon in Central California. It's good to be here, and this is one of my favorite topics. It's really lone wolf empath, black sheep syndrome. And if you are a lone wolf, black sheep, it means you're able to travel alone. And in black sheep context, the context of what I'm covering in quantum physics, in spirituality, in recovery, sobriety, surrendering to God, and free enterprise entrepreneurship, being a black sheep means that throughout your life, there have been many places where you did not fit in. Although you didn't fit in, but you actually were able to navigate life and go through a series of ups and downs and rock bottoms, and you have persevered. And in that black sheep syndrome, what the rock bottoms were preparing you for was to be your best self. And you are a rare commodity as a black sheep syndrome. It means that you stand alone. You don't have to dine with anyone, and you have prepared yourself to be successful on your own terms. And you have long since let go of recognition and rewards. You don't do situations out of ego. You do it out of purpose. And so when you are purpose inspired, when you are cause driven, when you operate from meaning and you live in high consciousness, you're in the separation between anxiety, fear, and doubt. And you can perform to an audience of no one. And you can do a recorded Facebook Live and no one's there, and you can deliver just as good. Or you can show up at an event where there's supposed to be 100 people and there was one, and you produced results for that one person, because that's what a black sheep does. A black sheep does not require recognition, rewards, and a black sheep lives in very high consciousness and is able to easily and effortlessly let go in levels of humility. And as a black sheep, you learned what it's like to be at rock bottom. You learned what it's like to struggle. You learned what it's like to feel emotionally and financially challenged. But you, in your heart, have always known that you were meant for something better than just being an employee. You've always known that you were going to be someone of significance and value. You didn't know what it was, but you're still in that process. And if you haven't found your purpose, it's waiting for you. And if you haven't found your calling, it's calling you. And if you've continued to persevere throughout many ups and downs and hardships in free enterprise and business, I commend you, because that's what it requires to be a black sheep lone wolf syndrome. And that means that you can lead the pack, but you're not concerned with being a leader. You can lead yourself. And very few people have the ability to lead themselves because they can't make a decision. They can't commit. They have money excuses. They have problems. And they typically find challenges to focus on rather than live in the solution. And if you are solution oriented, if you are clear, you live in clarity, and you are focused on outcomes that you know that you're capable of creating, you will create them. You have become very resourceful. You have very deep resolve. You know you didn't fit in with your family. Your family of origin is not typically your real family. Your real family is the universe, and you'll find that through surrendering to God and being on this journey. You will find your true calling. You will find the true people who really are like you. You have been through a series of addictions. You've been through a series of possibly homelessness. You've been through financial challenges. You've been through a lot of situations, and you never fit in anywhere, but you fit in everywhere. You're a student of the universe. You're a sage. You operate in wisdom. You know that you know, and you're able to peel back the veil of what goes on in the world, and you know more that goes on behind that veil than most people, and you keep silent about it because you know what goes on back there. And you don't focus on that, but you know it's always there. You know the wolf is looming at the door, but you don't let that wolf in, because that wolf is your lower self. That is the ego that continues to perpetuate the same situation over and over to fulfill the neurochemical craving of being emotionally addicted to the same set of feelings. As a lone wolf, black sheep, as you start to really understand what it means to be a black sheep. You may have said you're the black sheep of the family, but it actually had a much deeper connotation than that. It means you didn't fit in with that family. That's a family of addict, alcoholic, narcissist who gaslit you, who told you to stop dreaming, who told you to grow up, get real, go to college, get a real job. And those things that you believe about what goes on behind the veil, that's crazy. Well, that's just crazy. That's not possible. And you have constantly sought the path of, right now you're in least resistance, but you've been through a lot of resistance. And you have become much more naturopathic, much more holistic, and you understand the healing codes of this biological apocalypse. Because you are you and you are finding your freedom. As a black sheep, you're seeking other black sheep who feel like you. And as you practice the skill set of letting go, you're going to attract your reality more and more people who believe what you believe. So this is the curriculum for the Black Sheep Syndrome. You can follow along on this on Facebook. I posted it on Facebook this morning, and if you're on my email list, it went out yesterday. And went out at 9:06 a.m., 12 p.m. yesterday afternoon. And on this curriculum, I cover this right here. This is so you actually are a chosen one. You were chosen by God to lead yourself. And by leading yourself, you'll eventually be able to lead others. And you grew up in a family that you were triangulated, you didn't fit in, you typically had a cold mother and an emotionally unavailable father. You've been through beatings, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, any one of these traumas that created the man or woman that you are. You're in a deep level of letting go. You know that there's more for you and you haven't scratched the surface, and you're on the quest. You're on that quest, you're on the journey. You're on that journey to enlightenment, that journey to being your best self. You're on the journey to accessing your highest calling. You're in that place where you're accessing your creativity, your innovation. You're practicing your resourcefulness. And in that process, you're also learning to become a lot more prosperous. And you're learning how to meditate. You're learning how to heal yourself. You're learning how to heal others. But you're also able to succeed on your own terms without feeling selfish. And you're able to let go of the shame that you've experienced for all the trauma you yourself put yourself through based on the trauma that you experienced in your childhood. So typically you come from broken mothers and cold fathers. So typically your mother, in that last trimester of your mother's pregnancy, your mother had gone through a lot, and then she will end up marrying a narcissist or an alcoholic. This is typically what happens to a black sheep. And so we come from these type of families, these broken homes, and we go through a lot of anxiety, fear, and doubt. We go through unpredictability, and then we graduate around 18, and typically we're already an addict of some form or fashion. And most of your 20s, I'm so sorry, the reception here is going in and out, but most of your 20s, you've wrestled with your addictions. Now in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, that is your time. It is your time to flourish. It is your time to be in the present, in the moment. It's your time to be your best self. And as a black sheep, you will continue to attract your reality, other people who believe what you believe. So if you're building a culture, a tribe, a network marketing company, a direct sales business, if you are building an insurance business, a real estate business, if you're building a culture, then you're going to be able to attract other people that have been through the same trauma that you have been. The four main traumas are sexual, physical, emotional, and generational. Any one combination of those traumas lead to brain fog, panic patterns, anxiety, fear, and doubt. And that's what you've been addressing for the last few years through the books you've read, the people you've mentored with, the coaches you've hired, or the people that have led organizations that you've been in, and now it's your term. It's your terms, it's your time. You're in arrival stage. You're ready to arrive and be that person that you are capable of becoming. So 2026 is your year. If 2025 wasn't your year, 2026 is your year. And in that state of arrival where you are right now, you're in a very, very high level of consciousness. And to your reality, you're going to attract quality, like-minded, success seekers, people who are other black sheeps, people who are like you, who feel what you feel. And this is when you start to bring people like you together, it creates a compounded effect. So one or more coming together of like mind is a mastermind. One or more coming together of similar feelings, circumstances, and situations, it what creates the law of alignment, a mastermind alliance. And then is a black sheep, you're going to experience in the science of attraction, you're going to begin to attract to you other quality, like-minded success seekers, and it's going to come through synchronicity. It's going to come from unexpected situations. It won't be a coincidence, it will be divine, because you have been training yourself for this moment. You've been through all these situations that bring you to what is called the present. And it's right here, right now, on February 10th, 2026, that is your breakthrough moment, your breakthrough year. It happened to me in 1997. I entered 1997, $100,000 in credit card debt. I've been through multiple failed ventures in an 8-year direct sales network marketing career, and it all came together for me between 1997 and 1998. That can happen to you right here, right now. As a lone wolf, black sheep, you're also beginning to accept the truth. Instead of telling people what they want to hear, telling people stories, instead of putting people off, you're becoming very clear, and you have very clear boundaries. You're able to let people go easily and effortlessly. You're living in a more non-attached state than you ever lived before. And most importantly, you're accessing one of the highest levels of consciousness, humility. And the truly humble cannot be humiliated. And as you begin to live in that emotional vibration, that energy of the law of the few, you will begin to once again attract situations, opportunities, business ventures, people, vendors, contractors who you are in alignment with. And this is when synchronicity becomes your reality. So this is how you start to really feel what you're feeling, and you bring it to the present. And it is called manifestation. You're beginning to manifest your dreams on command. All the dues, all the pain, all the suffering you've been through is worth it, because you're in a place called the present. And that present moment awareness, where you are right here, right now. This is what happened to me. I'm 69 years old. My breakthrough year was 1997, so you do the math on that. And this is your time, and you begin to understand that. And you will start to have quantum leaps. The sum is greater than the whole of its parts, where 2 plus 2 equals 16. You begin to feel that. So your light, so the light that you live in, it begins to reveal the truth. And that's because of everything you've gone through, all the darkness, all the rock bottoms, gave you the wisdom to be the person you are today. So that darkness that you went through, you are now the light. And that light reveals the truth. You shine the light on the truth. And this is why you're able to tell when people are lying to you. You can hear them lying to you because you can hear their lips move. You can tell that they don't mean what they say. When people tell me they're going to get back to me, I know what they mean. I know exactly what that means. They future tense and never deliver. I know what that means. It means that's performance anxiety. That's the inability to commit to a situation. And that's not you, because you're able to commit on command. You're resourceful, you're innovative, you're creative. And if any of this content resonates with you, then you are a black sheep. My name is Jeffery Combs, president and founder of Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. And if you are new to my content, if you're watching this on replay, I offer free 20-minute coaching sessions, provided you're serious about hiring me or a coach. I would be honored to speak to you. So if that is you, I offer a free 20-minute coaching session, once again, provided you're serious about hiring me or a coach. And if you're a long-term client, I have one opening left for my long-term coaching program. That's a coaching program I offer for life. And if you'd like to take advantage of that, reach out to me on Facebook Messenger, or you can text me at 209-649-1562, 209-649-1562. Kira, good to see you. Kevin, good to see you. Sarah, good to see you. Sam, good to see you. Long time followers and clients. No call to action. That is the call to action, Sam. If you want to contact me, contact me. 209-649-1562. Breathe, release, and let go. Good afternoon, everyone.